Welcome to the Edupedia world. In this tutorial, we'll be covering up the static keyword. In previous tutorial, we have already covered final keyword and let's move forward in this tutorial with static. Okay, so first of all, we study about static class members. So static class members are basically static fields and static methods. So firstly, let's see what are static fields. Static fields, also known as class variable, represent class-wide information. They are used when all objects of class should share the same copy of instance variable, or the instance variable should be accessible even when no objects of class exist. They can be accessed with the class name or an object name and a dot operator. So if you can simply use a class name, dot operator and that variable name, your static variable will be accessed. Or you can also do that by object name, but since you are having a privilege to use it just by class name, so why bother creating an object to create a static method or a static field? They must be initialized in their declaration or else compiler will initialize it with default value 0 for ints. Okay. So they must be initialized. If they are not initialized, then compiler will initialize it with default values. That I hope it's okay. The purpose is that, if you want to use the same copy with every instance variable or you want to use the same copy irrespective of instance variable, then you can use a static field. For example, you are having a variable as counter and you are having 10 objects and you are printing something. You want to count the number of times you are printing it, no matter how many objects you have created. So in that case, you can keep your variable as static because every time you call the print method, your static variable will get incremented. So if you increment that static variable inside a print method, so no matter how many times you are calling it with different objects, it will still increment and all objects will be sharing the same copy. So finally, the value of counter that you will get will be how many times that print method is called irrespective of the objects calling it. So even if you are having 20 objects and each of them calling that print method once, then the value of counter you will get would be 20 because this variable is shared by all the instance variables. So all the instance variables is having the same copy of the variable counter. So I hope so you got like why we need to use static fields. Okay, so let's see one of the observation. This says that use a static variable when all objects of a class must use the same copy of the variable. So whenever all the objects of a class need to use the same copy of variable, then you can use static variable. Static class variable and methods exist and can be used even if no objects of that class have been instantiated. So that means even if you haven't created any object of that class, then you can still access your static class variables. So this is an example of a static variable. Over here, as I was telling, you can see we have created a int count, which is a static variable, and this class employee is having two other instance variable, which are first name and last name. So count is used to count number of objects in memory. So whenever you need to, make sure how many objects you are creating in a memory, then you can use that static keyword. And then we are having a constructor of employee. Inside a constructor of employee, we are assigning first and last, and also we are incrementing the count variable. So that whenever a constructor gets called, so whenever a new object is getting called, the value of count is incremented by 1. After that, we are simply printing the inside the employee constructor first name, last name, and count. So you can see whenever we increment the value of employee, so even if you are creating 10 objects of employee, the value of count will still be incrementing and it will be independent of the objects that you are creating. And with each object, the value of count will increment and all the objects will share the same copy or the same value of count variable. So this is a like declaration of a static field. This is increment of a static field. Okay, so over here we have already seen like final. So over here there's a finalize method also. So finalize method is actually over here you can see it's like subtract 1 from static count when garbage collector calls finalize to clean up object. So just to tell you what is finalize method. Finalize method is a method that is called by garbage collector or just before the garbage collection process takes place to clean up the object. So if you are having number of objects created and you want to clean up that, you want to nullify the objects, you want to clean the memory, so you can do that manually inside the finalize method, and it will be called just before the garbage collection took place. So over here we have created a finalize method, protected void finalize, and inside that method you can see we are decrementing the count. So just before the garbage collector start collecting the object, we are reducing the number of objects. So as soon as the object is available for the garbage collection to be released, the finalize method will be called and it will decrement the value of count, which is what we want to do because we want to actually maintain the number of count of the objects that have been called. So over here in finalize method we are decrementing the static count of employee and then we are printing again, just to show you like how the count is decrementing whenever each object is released. Okay, then you can see we are having getters and setters, and here in the yellow highlighted text you can see we are having a method int get count. So this is actually returning the static variable. So static method, it is again a static method which is returning a static count value. Why so? Because the static method can only have static value or it can use a static variable. To return a static variable we need to have a static method. Okay. So that's the reason we are using a static method over here. So I hope so this example is quite clear. Over here we are declaring the method finalize and then declare a static method get count to get static field count. And now finally we have a main method. Inside a main method we are simply creating two objects of employees E1 and E2. So you see as soon as we create these objects in our constructor, the value of count will get increment. So over here we are actually calling the static method get count using a class name just to print how what's the value of count. Initially definitely it will be 0 because up till now no object have been created. As soon as we create the two new objects the value will get increment. So this is like just showing you the count after creating the two employees. So you can see like after you have created the two employees you are printing the value of count. So you are printing the value of count using e1.getCount or e2.getCount, or you can also do employee.getCount. In each of the three it will give you the same result. Why so? Because count variable is independent of the objects. After that, we are just printing names and then coming back to the highlighted text. Here we are nullifying the value. So when we do E1 equals to null and E2 equals to null, in this example, there is only one reference to each employee. So the following two statements cause the JVM to mark each employee object for garbage collection. Fine. And then by doing system.gc, we are asking the garbage collection to occur now. So as soon as this method is called, just before that finalize method will be called to reduce the count. And finally in the end we are actually printing the count. So show employee count after calling garbage collector. Count displayed maybe it could be 0, 1 or 2 based on whether garbage collector executes immediately and number of employees object collected. Okay. So like after garbage collection has been called, we are again printing the count. Here is the output you can see. So the first line is like employee before initiation, that was 0, and after creating the object count incremented to 1 and after that to 2. Then employee after initiation, you can see each of the get count call is giving us the value as 2, which is what was expected. Fine. And then we are printing the employee names. Then we are actually nullifying the value and calling garbage collector. After that we are again printing as soon as the garbage collection gets printed, the finalize method will also get printed, and these statements are what we have written in finalize method, and it is actually decrementing the count. So when first value got nullified, then the count will become 0, and when the second value got nullified, then the count will become 0. So the employees after the system.gc would come out to be 0. So using the static variable, you can, ensure that when your objects are getting created and when your objects are, nullifying or getting removed from the memory. So this was a very classic example of the use of static variable. I hope so that is clear and you will be able to create your own static example. Okay, so let's see one of a good programming practice. It says that invoke every static method by using a class name and a dot to emphasize that method is being called a static method. So if you do that, then it will give you more clarity that you're actually calling a static method which is not dependent on any of the instance. Okay, finally, garbage collection and method finalize. So we have already covered how it is used, but let just summarize it. So garbage collection. JVM marks an object for garbage collection when there are no more references to that object. JVM's garbage collector will retrieve those objects' memory so it can be used for other objects. Finalize method. All classes in Java have finalize method inherited from the object class. So finalize method is actually present in object class and any of a class can inherit that method and can write whatever they want to do just before the garbage collection happens. Finalize method is called by garbage collector when it performs the termination housekeeping. Finalize take no parameters and has a return type void and is generally protected. That was about garbage collection and finalize method. Let's move forward. Okay, then we have another observation coming up. It says that a class that uses system resources such as files or disk should provide a method to eventually release the resources. Many Java API classes provide close or dispose method for this purpose. So there are many API which actually provide close or dispose method, to just clear out the files on disk, to close your files, etc., etc. So we do have a close method also. Then coming to static class members. So one of the example is like strings. It says string object are immutable. String concatenation operation actually results in creation of a new string object. The static method GC of a class system indicates that garbage collector should make best effort attempt to reclaim the object eligible for garbage collection. So what happens in case of garbage collection? It does make a attempt to reclaim the object. Sometimes it may be possible that the object is not eligible for garbage collection. So the garbage collection won't be able to, nullify it. It is possible that no objects are only subset of eligible objects will be collected. Fine. So a static method cannot access non-static class members. Yeah, that's true. Like if there are normal variables outside the class or a static, non-static class members, it cannot be accessed inside a static method. Also, we cannot use this keyword inside the static method. Why? So because this actually, it refers to a particular object of a class. But when we talk about static, we are talking something that is not related to object. It's actually related to the class. So that's why we cannot use this reference. So again, a common programming error. So what it says that a compilation error occurs if a static method calls an instance non-static method in same class by using only the method name. So if you just try to call a non-static method inside a static method, it will give you a compile time error. Similar compile time error occurs if a static method attempts to access an instance variable in a same class by using only the variable name. So again, like if a static method attempt to access a non-static instance variable in the same class, then also it will give us an error. So if we want to do that, what we can do is as in case of a main method, main is again a static method. So whenever we need to call any method inside a main method, we need to create a object of that class having that method. So if you just try to simply call that method without creating an object, then definitely it will give you compile time error. To call a method, just create an object of that class and then using that object call that method. Then it would be fine. It won't give you any error because over here you are actually, linking it with the object. Okay, and just to tell you something more about static, can abstract class have static method? Well, yes, abstract class can have static method, but they are not welcomed. Why? Because static methods are basically cannot be overridden. They are tied down at compile time with the reference object. Okay. And why do you think we cannot override the static method? Why? Because static method again are binded at compile time. So that's why you cannot override any static method. So that was about bit about how abstract class can have a static method and how they cannot be overridden. Fine. So I hope so that clarifies our static keyword and yeah. Something more about static method is static import. Static import declaration enables programmer to refer to imported static members as if they were declared in the class that used them. Single static import. If you do a static import, so what it does, it actually enables a programmer to refer to that imported static members as if they are declared in a class that is using them. Static import on demand can be done using like import static, then package name, class name, and like complete class. Imports of all static members of a specified class. So it actually imports all the static members. So whenever you use a keyword static in import statement, so it is used to import the static members in a specified class. So this is the example of a static import. Over here you can see we are using import static, so it is actually importing all the static members. So now you can see like over here we are actually calling sqrt, clog, COS. So all these are like, since they are static method in the math package, that's why we are able to like simply call them inside a static method. Since main is also a static method, so we are able to call that, and in it kind of imported in a way like all these methods are actually declared in our class, but they are not. We are actually importing it, but we can use it as if they are declared in our class. So this was about static import, and then let's see one of the another common programming error. It says compilation error occurs if a program attempts to import static methods that have same signature or static fields that have same name from two or more classes. So, if your program is attempting to import a static method, and let's say you are having that static method in your own class also, and you are trying to import a static method from other class that is having exactly same signature, then you will get a compilation time error. Okay guys, so there are a couple of important points that I would like to let you know. So one is that local variable, inner class or a inner class variable or a method inner class, interface classes, they cannot be static. Why so? Because local variables are just meant for a particular block. Similarly, method local variable again are meant for particular block, so they cannot be static. Similarly, your top level class cannot be static. Okay guys, now let's try to do some of the example of static variable and see where it can be used and where it cannot be used. So here I'm creating a new class, and the name of the class that I'm giving is static example. I'm creating a main method, and here now let me just create another method over here, public static myMeth. Okay, and let's create a static variable inside it. So I'm creating static int a. Fine. So you can see over here it's giving me an error, and the error it's giving me is remove invalid modifiers. So it's asking me to remove the static keyword with a local variable. Why? So because I cannot create a local static variable. My static variable has to be a class variable. So if I do like static int a over here, it would be absolutely fine. So it cannot be used with local variable. Fine. Then there is a concept of inner class and inner class method and inner class variable, and then we have a concept of method local inner classes, like class within a method. So it would be something like that, although we'll cover that detail in later, but just I'm uh, covering a little bit about it. So over here I've just created a class inside a method, and can I make this class as static? So if I do that, again it's giving me an error. So I cannot have method local static class. I can have a normal class inside a method. Similarly, I cannot have inner class methods and variable as static. So if there is an inner class can be any class inside a class. So instead of making it inside a method, if I just make it inside any other class. So this is my static example class. If I make another class over here, this is a static class. So I can have a static inner class, that's fine. But I cannot have like static method inside it or a static variable inside it. So if I try to do the static int b, it will give me an error. Similarly, if I try to do it like void meth2, and if I change that to a static, it will again give me an error. So first thing, you cannot have your local variables as static, then you cannot have the variables and methods of our inner class as static, then you cannot have method local inner classes as static. You also cannot have interfaces as static, and fine. So if I just try to create an interface, so this is an interface, and if I just try to make it as static, it will give me an error. So I cannot have an interface as static. Fine. And also you cannot have your top level class as static. So if I just try to do this public static class over here, so again it will give me an example. So it's saying me to remove invalid modifiers. So these were the places where we cannot use static. Fine. Then, all the static members are actually stored in the Java heap. And in case of a multi-threading environment, static variable must be synchronized to avoid unexpected result, because we actually want each and every thread to access the static variable one at a time, not like every thread is accessing that same variable at the same time. So it should not be there, so that our data remain consistent. Other is, we have already seen that we cannot override a static method, we can only hide it. And other is, static constructor are not there, we cannot have a constructor which is static. Fine. And why so? Because constructors are actually related with the objects, not with the class. So whenever you create an object, then only a constructor gets called. Another important point is, static method of our interface cannot be inherited. Okay. So in an interface, if you are having a static method, then again it cannot be inherited. And well, you can have a static method in an interface from Java 8. So we'll be covering all the features of Java 8 separately. Up till now, you have seen that in interface we can just have a method, but those methods were not static methods. But from Java 8 we can have static and defaults method in our interface, and they can't be inherited. Fine. We'll see that in detail. Okay. Again, there's another important point which says that if overriding a static method of a base class, it should be static in derived. So in case if you are trying to override it, first you cannot override it, but if you try to do that, it's actually become a data or a method hiding. If you try to do a method hiding also, and there's a static method in your base class, then in your derived class also that method has to be static. Okay, then only you will be do whatever you are actually trying to do. If you are trying to do a method hiding, then you'll only be able to do if you use a static keyword inside a derived class also. Then there is, another interesting interview question, that is when to use singleton pattern and when to use a static uh, class or a static variable. So, singleton is actually used to create just one instance of an object. Then another thing that can be done is, why not create a static object and use it. So, what's the difference between these two and when to use which one? So the first point to that would be like, if singleton is not maintaining any state, then we use static. Because static variable or a object of or a static object of a class can actually maintain a state. So if you have just created a static instance variable inside it and you are just initializing it, I'll just show you how it is done. You can do this like static, and then you can actually create a reference of this class inside this class itself. Okay, so if I just try to do this, then it's good to do this when we have a state to maintain. It's good to use static when we have a state to maintain. Whereas singleton, like if singleton is not maintaining any state, then we can use static. So I'm like, rephrasing myself just not to create any confusion again. If singleton is not maintaining any state, then use static. If singleton is maintaining a state, then you should use singleton. So not to maintain state means static. And static are faster because static binding is done at compile time. So these are faster compared to singleton. Again, singleton method can be overridden and static method cannot be overridden. Again, singleton is lazy loading and singleton, static is faster than singleton. So these are like the comparison points between singleton and static. So the important one of all the four was like if singleton is not maintaining any state, then preferably use static. Okay guys, so thank you very much and let's meet in the next tutorial. Thank you.